I'm doing Depp vs. Heard, entertainment, pop culture, and I say Johnny Depp because this paper blames Johnny Depp for what happened to Ashley Morgan Smithline, who got the case dismissed, which she put out against Marilyn Manson. It's from the Jezebel. They're very biased, and they title this Dirtbag. What professionals? It's called Marilyn Manson Accuser's Sex Abuse Lawsuit is Thrown Out Under Mysterious Circumstances. Not quite. She was very hard to work with, and she had no evidence. So if you think no evidence, and I mean zero, is a mysterious circumstance, I'm not sure exactly where you're coming from. Well, I am. It's political, it's a narrative, it's not actually rooted in reality. This is pretty new. It's from about January 6th or something like that. And they begin. Ashley Morgan Smithline ditched her lawyer and failed to replace him in her fight against the singer and alleged abuser. Well, they gotta use the word alleged, and I bet they hate to. In May 2021, model, aspiring actor, and Marilyn Manson accuser Ashley Morgan Smithline told People magazine, "I have bonded with the 5 other girls who went through this, and we have found such strength in numbers." Those other women included Evan Rachel Wood, whose documentary about the allegations against Marilyn Manson, aka Brian Warner, Phoenix Rising, aired on HBO Max in 2021 and featured interviews with Smithline. Meeting the other girls, we all felt the same thing, Smithline said. We felt this, we alleged this, we thought this. It's not like, well, here's the evidence we had. This is the hardcore evidence. Here's the tape where Marilyn Manson said, "I was hitting her, I wasn't punching her." But you don't have that, do you? Here's the photo of the accusers getting their fingers cut off. You don't have that, do you? Here's the history of Marilyn Manson committing perjury in Australia. Well, that didn't happen. I guess you get my drift. Now, nearly 2 years later, Smithline appears to have stopped pursuing sexual abuse charges against him. According to Page 6, a California judge on Tuesday tossed out her lawsuit against Marilyn Manson because she failed to replace her former legal counsel. Last month, after her attorney J.D. L. Wagner filed a motion to withdraw himself from the case, Smithline was advised to find new representation. Curiously, she didn't. Maybe she felt her case wasn't strong enough. She never seemed very enthusiastic in the first place. When she was on TV in the interviews, she was like a deer in headlights. And so was L. Wagner. He was sitting there like a statue, basically. It was a very, very odd interview. And I don't want to hear, "Oh, they were nervous on TV and things." You know what? A lot of people go on TV. A lot of people are nervous. But it was a very rare situation where they looked really uncomfortable. Unsettlingly, when contacted by Page 6, Manson's attorney applauded her apparent decision. "We thank and commend Ashley Smithline for dismissing her claims against Brian Warner without seeking or receiving anything in return," Howard King said. "Ms. Smithline has refused to be manipulated by others who are trying to pursue their own agendas against Mr. Warner. We wish her well and will continue to work to assure that a significant price will be paid by those who have tried to abuse our legal system," and I agree with that. At least they put that in print. They could have not put that out there. That's Manson's attorney's opinion, so okay, one little small point for them on that. Manson's legal team also provided Page 6 with a series of private text messages between Smithline and L. Wagner regarding the latter's withdrawal from the case, though how Manson's attorneys got a hold of these messages remains very unclear. I'll give you a big hint. They were sent to his legal team because the case wasn't going anywhere. Broken record time, no proof, no evidence. Smithline was probably feeling, this just isn't going anywhere. So they sent the messages as an explanation of what happened. My personal theory. But unless there's some kind of high-level hackers and they hacked into those phones at those times when those conversations were happening, or they knew to find those conversations, then they couldn't get them. So obviously somebody close to them who knew about the conversations sent them to Manson's team. Or there was some kind of person who had access to their phones and screenshotted them and sent them to Manson. But either way, it must have been somebody on Ashley's side to begin with, because Manson, like you say, and his team can't just snap their fingers and get those. The text seemed to show Smithline abruptly discharging the attorney in September 2022. L. Wagner responded with concern, suggesting someone other than Smithline was doing the typing. Yes, that's true. It didn't seem like her. Ashley, it's not that simple, L. Wagner appears to have written. Appears to have written. It's all probably some fake hoax or whatever on Manson's side, right? You have a federal court lawsuit pending. I'm not sure who was writing these text messages, but it doesn't sound like you. We need to speak on the phone. I am honestly very concerned about you. This is all very different behavior than I've ever seen from you, and I've known you for over a year, another text reads. Throughout 2021, Smithline and L. Wagner gave countless interviews together accusing Manson of sexual, physical, and psychological abuse. And let's just note, a year is not a very long time to know somebody. Someone I've known for like 3 or 4 years still feels somewhat like a new friend. I mean, not fresh, not a brand new friend, but compared to other friends I've had my whole life, I've known for decades, the relationship's still kind of new. There's still plenty of things you don't know about each other. So a year is honestly a very short time. And it continues. I woke up bound and he was having sex with my unconscious body, Smithline told The View of Manson in June 2021 with L. Wagner by her side. That's what I was talking about, that really awkward interview. That was my first experience, and then from there, the abuse just worsened. I was dehumanized, I was degraded, I was treated like an animal. If you're going to be an abusive psychopath, be original. And he wasn't. She further told People of the identical and disgusting allegations she shared with Manson's fellow accusers. I survived the monster, Smithline said. Here's the deal. If Manson did this, that's horrible. He deserves to be punished, canceled, legally, and everything. But if we don't know he did it, we don't have proof. If you're just looking at things he said in his songs, things he did on stage, that kind of thing, you shouldn't be going on TV in front of millions of people and making these crazy allegations. And I say crazy because they're very serious allegations to put out there against somebody unless you know they did it and you can show they did it, or at least you've got some evidence. If it's not hardcore evidence, there should be something you can point to on that show that's undeniable by his team and his side. But there wasn't. It's just words. Anyone can just say words, and those words translate into someone's career getting pretty much destroyed. And they end with this. It can't be overstated that since the allegations were made public, Manson has rigorously attempted to undermine his accusers, even taking a page from pal Johnny Depp's playbook by filing a defamation suit against 2 of them for publicly speaking out. What do you want him to do? What do you expect him to do? Somebody says something about you, they can't prove, they're just words, your record company fires you, your career takes a huge hit, you just say, okay, oh yeah, they might be right. I could have done that. Maybe it was me. Cancel me. Offer the alternative on what you think he should be doing if you're going to criticize what he did. But you can't. There is no alternative. If you're accused and the accusations can't be proven, you've got to take action. In November 2022, Manson also claimed the allegations have left his career in the gutter, and he's since received death threats, which he probably have, because people believe he's this monster. Smithline could not be reached for comment because our paper is really small, not many people know about us, and we get it wrong a lot of the time, so she didn't want to talk to us. That's not what it says, but that's the reality. Of course, now these type of people will be blaming Johnny Depp every time something like this happens. And look, I gotta say, just like really brutally honest, I'm really ready to have the accuser be right. I'm ready for that evidence, the type of evidence Johnny had against Amber on the flip side, where the woman's accusing, and I say, yeah, you know what? She was right. She brought the evidence to court. Look at that. This guy's a monster. Let's put him away. If Andrew Tate happens to be guilty, if they've got some good evidence, I'll be the first to report. I'd rather not. I hope he didn't do it. I hope he's not that kind of person. But if the facts come out, I will report it. If the facts come out on Manson, I will report it. Well, they haven't come out in like years, so probably not. But what I'm saying is, I'm hoping we have an example where we do see evidence. Anyway, let me know what you think down below. Unsettlingly, this article is very one-sided. This title of dirtbag up there doesn't sit well with me. It's unprofessional, and it doesn't help them. If you're not subscribed here, consider it. And if you don't consider it, I'll be sad, but I'll get over it. See you next time.